Kia Hemi Office 5521. We will have one last test, which is this machine had a fresh start right now, and we will observe that we had as instrument, as a screen, the screen that we had only one named general screen as PNP, which I think that means plug and play. This one had, many others, as one is not general plug and play, and two as plug and play. I mean, this one maybe is a cell phone, and then you have a connection as a not authorized access at your machine maybe. And another thing that called the attention is that the Windows 10 has a browser inside, which is the Microsoft Edge, and has a optimization as an update. Sometimes you are forced to have this, and then you can observe that here the name is kind of Microsoft Edge. This one has a different name, it's the Microsoft Edge number 2, but I have only one system. This browser is integrated at the system. Why should I have a second Microsoft Edge if I'm considering the use of only one system? This machine, I can't have the access at the internet properly, despite, as you can observe, it's saying that I do not have the internet. Here I have the internet, because indeed looks like that here we had the attempt to replace the driver as Wi-Fi. Qualcomm, I think that is AT&T, but it's not authorized to launch after you have the replacement, so the internet is suspended. Here it's a fresh start. Right now we didn't had the modifications at your system. We will check another thing here. As you can observe, we have a lot of drivers as controlling and obtain your data and processing your signal as information. We have two here, and here we have others that are not available now. At least two drivers at the system not recognized by the system. Here we have many, but it calls the attention, the duplicity as drivers to process your information, and some drivers that are not recognized by the system. We will call the attention to this situation here, which is the local disk that you have. We will request to expose hidden items, and when we kick the windows, we will have this area here that sometimes have some files that allow to have the change at your machine. Here we will check this in the same way. As you can observe, we will use the same machine, kind of same type of machine, same installation, to have this comparative measurement. We will request the items are, if we have hidden items, we got to expose them, and then we will open the windows to check if we have some files here. We can have the comparative analysis by these two type of things. At this moment looks like that they are kind of maybe not the same. The other way as we can do is kind of put here and ask the property of the directory, and you will observe the number of files that we have. If you have the same installation as Windows, maybe we will have some kind of very close number as files, and must have the same files if they have the same source as origination to install the Windows. If you have the kickoff as a fresh start and the machine shows different pattern as behavior, like one connects to the internet, the other do not connect, you have multiple devices as screen associated with, and the other you do not have this. Maybe this is, something that you, international authority, must request to our local authorities and our local public corruption departments. Especially at this situation here, which is the integrated browser. This one presenting as the name, browser Microsoft Edge 2. It means that you have the browser 1, but it's not at this machine. Here you have the Microsoft Edge as regular, as we must have. It's a lot of distortion. It's no evidence, kind of so explicit that it's a terrible thing, but Brazil committed maybe industrial crime by violation of privacy, considering the database Sigma as personal computer project, which indeed is having your machine, and then you have the inside your machine. Here is your hard disk. You will have a partitures with distortions all around the globe, and this database as personal computer will have an institutional use. You will place at your institution, especially the law enforcement, that will be the users, and they will have the login and will update this regular. This will be the first segment. The second segment will have the use or the access at this dispersive, collective, and optimization as data for security for personal computer at houses, and then you will set the partnership as the company that will provide the computer, like the Dell computer, or even the IBM, or the AT&T, with the NATO and the law enforcement that had this storage data with login. If you have a misusage of the optimization as update, you have the login, which is the officer doing this, and he will suffer the consequence by this. And this storage data indeed allowed us to have something like this. We will have the division as my first segment. I would say here is kind of my area as IT. I have the NATO, having the optimization and using this with the officer that will give me the perception A. This perception A will be combined with companies that would like to have this partnership here. Here at the A, I will have the agents 1 up to N. They are doing the optimization at this database here, which is the database A period 2021-2028. And then at this period we have kind of this kind of agreement with the companies provide her personal computers that will offer as a at the market. And then after this period, which is 2028, we will have a new database Sigma, which will be now the database Sigma B, considering the incremental behavior we are having, the systematic and continuous control at the global environment as information and proper and secure information by this kind of activity, which is a white label project that you violated here, as you can observe, at least yesterday and today, by all evidence and proofs that you are having here. It's estimated at 33 trillion US dollars, conditional paper, 1% for 3 trillion, as conditional flow, consequence against institution, the silence and solidarity, peer-to-peer scam, the money exists for sure, and then you have the charges on it. It's named the database Sigma, which is a portfolio offered as with the origination, I would say, as my self-defense, and the previous event was my economic and financial control as research. Which violation have this situation formed as the 33 trillion, which indeed the intention is set the anti-crime budget nowadays. But we're having extra, development of things, creation and optimization in the way you have. Because it's necessary. I must protect myself, my integrity, and especially who I am. Now that DBS is the DBS personal computer or home computer, which will have the use as personal computer at the institution, collective data and preparing of information as storage for the law enforcement association, with companies offering the machine with levels as access of information based on this kind of update by the agents 2021-2028 preventive control. After this, we set a new contract as agreement, considering that the NATO is this big square here, and the law enforcement, and we are working things properly. This is just a humble brainstorm, but the consequences at this 33 trillion. Have a nice weekend.